There's a pasuk. I think today is the last day that we have Elio and Rafa here. Is today the last day? Wow. So tomorrow also, Machar Gam. Oh, so tomorrow also. That's called the penultimate. What? Not tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow also.
Oh, you said yes tomorrow.
What's that called? Is the word of the day the penultimate? What's the word?
Penultimate what?
Penultimate is the second to last.
Yeah.
How do you say the word?
I can't think of it.
Say it.
Very simple. Penultimate?
That's how to say it?
Give me another option.
I don't know.
Penultimate?
Penultimate?
I don't think so.
You hear the word of the day, Shaya? You come to Waterbury, there's good English here. The word of the day is the penultimate. What does that mean?
We're very loquacious.
Second to last. Look it up on your phone. Donnie, look up penultimate. Daniel, is that how to say it?
You spell it right, you got 10 points.
I don't know how to spell it. Shlomo, you heard that word? Penultimate.
P-N-U-L-T-I-M.
What's it? Second to last. It's the penultimate day that Rafi and Elio will be on the second to last day. I want to express tremendous appreciation. I've been talking about them for days. I want to express I will talk about them for years. Because 4 guys came to yeshiva across the border, and they came here to learn Torah. And I'm impressed. Rafi's midas. He's a dignified person, incredible person. I'm happy to be friends for always, Rafi. Elio, I'm happy to be friends for always, Elio. Appreciate tremendously you're here. Yishai, Simon's here. Schos Gadol. I want to learn a pasuk well. I want to welcome Rami Singel's parents. Rabbi Ephraim and his wife are here. Yeah. I want to express that in the yeshiva is a place of friendship, of relationship, and the most important friendships and relationships in our lives are to our family, to our mishpacha. One day to our wives, to our parents, our father, our mother, our sisters, our brothers, and everything. Shlomo, I want you to hear this. Everything in the yeshiva. Success in the yeshiva is a guy's closer to his tata, closer to his mama, one day closer to his wife. It's a place of relationships. Rav Wolbe, who understood Torah well, summed up Torah, and his words were remarkably measured, Rav Wolbe. I was zeichet to hear shmuzim in the mirror. In my life, very few people were so careful with their words. His words were exact. What's safer besides Rav Ezi to answer? What's safer the Rav Wolbe write? He wrote. No, he didn't write Rav Ezi. Besides Rav Ezi, somebody else should answer. Rav Wolbe wrote the sefer Alei Shur. And Rav Wolbe, his words were remarkably measured. And Rav Wolbe called the world of Torah an Olam Hayedidus, a world of friendship. That's what he called Torah. He understood Torah. Torah produces friendship. I quote Rav Wolbe. I could have quoted Beis Hillel, who summed up Torah. Rav Hillel summed up Torah as V'hafta l'recha kamoichem adalecha sani l'chavrecha lo'isaved V'hafta l'recha kamoicha. Rav Wolbe said the world of Torah is a world of friendship. Rav Wolbe was a massive bucky in relationships. He would advise people like very intelligently on matters of marriage. He was an expert, and a Talmud asked him, like, Rebbe, how do you know something? Did you study psychology? He said, no, I studied Torah. And he felt and understood that the world of Torah is a world of relationships. To me, I'm not trying to be a school. I don't really care that much for schools. Schools are good. I'm not knocking. Schools are wonderful. It's not like my dream to be a school. I want to be a beis medrash, a yeshiva, a place of connection and relationship. And as such, I care a lot about family relationships a lot. And I want to express that literally Rebbeim in the yeshiva, the single parents, Rami's father and his mother, Rabbi Ephraim and his wife, who are lessons of loyal parents and connected to their children and involved and on top, is a tremendous, tremendous lesson to me, to everybody involved in the yeshiva, and Rami in turn. Rami's own connection to his parents is beautiful and impressive. To me, that's like the dream of Hatzlacha, of success. Family, mishpachas together, mishpachas growing together. It's not said to guilt anybody. People hear this, and guys here, it's not lost on me. People have challenged, and it's not meant to shame anybody. Literally not meant. Somebody hears this, feels like a shame if they have estrangement from a family member. Chas v'shalom, not I'm guilting. I'm expressing that the avodah is important, and bridging and working and figuring it out is massively important. At times, somebody speaks about shalom bayis, and somebody in the crowd, shayvivim, which we just passed through, their shiurim on shalom bayis. I have found you have somebody in the crowd who's struggling with marriage issues, and you speak about shalom bayis, they just feel shamed. It's not true. They may be bigger in that sugya than anybody else in the room. It's not making a shame. It's expressing the importance of working on the inyan. It's not like the guy who's sitting there and he has strife in his marriage. He's an idiot. Chas v'shalom, zero. It has to be expressed. A Rav's talking about shalom bayis, and there's a guy in the crowd who has like a difficult marriage, so he feels like, I'm such an outcast. Chas v'shalom. It's fakert. He's maybe even the biggest in the room. It's a serious thing that he's working on. When I express closeness to parents, so a guy who maybe doesn't have that kesher to his dad and mom could look at it. It's a kalish. So I'm like slugged up. I'm shamed. Hand in my chas v'shalom. We're talking together, and you might be bigger than anybody else in the room on this topic. We're talking about figuring out ways, how we can bridge, how we can connect, because it's a big topic. And is there some way, is it possible? For one guy might be bigger on this topic, working his sugya from a distance. He might even be temporarily separated from a parent, because he's working on mamish, having some kesher, but it's a big sugya. It's a big sugya. I don't like ignoring sugyas. So I want to express that. I want to express an appreciation to the single family. You're really remarkable people, how they're here. I want to, Rabbi Ephraim has, this is the truth. Rabbi Ephraim has flown in from Detroit for his son's hockey game. At times, I'm not saying here I don't know the cheshbainis, but to me, a father flew in for his son's hockey game. That's like anything we ever learn in yeshiva. That's mamish. You get it. Your son's hockey game. It's not a shtick. It's my son's, the hockey game's big to him. It's big to me. It's funny that my wife has gone to basketball games of Hudi, and my wife's like saying Tillim. My wife doesn't care about basketball. She's like saying Tillim. It's posh. She's not being funny. It's a big to Hudi. Of course she cares. It's huge to him. She's not like a good chinuch trick. She's a mother. It's her son. It's very big to her son. She wants her son to feel good. It's not like a trick one day, like a nice chinuch trick. You'll go to your kids' games. It will help them be from. No tricks. Fathers and sons are close. If something's big to your son and you're connected, of course it's big. But Ephraim's not on a plane. It's a good trick. It's a geschmack azach chinuch move. Like if you write a book on chinuch, to me, if you're plugged in and there's a big game for your child, so it's big to you because you're plugged in. It's not. If it's a trick, bad tricks are for kids. I'm not talking about tricks. I'm talking about real things. If it's big for your child, so that's a big deal for you. My wife I've seen my wife say Tillim at a playoff game for Hudi. She's not like a trick of chinuch. She sees it's very big for him. So she's like praying. It's a big thing. So that's like the deepest space when we're connected. It's not like some cool trick. It's like we're really connected. Like it's real. Guys here go to their friend's game. Because we're real friends, it's big to him. It matters. It's not like a gishmak. Guys were watching yesterday. It was fun to watch the crowd watch the Beast games, the Ari Litzman games. Guys care about a friend. Guys were stressed. I was talking to somebody, I literally felt anxious on the side watching. It was like tension and stuff. I was like exhausted from the tension. When you care about somebody's, so their stuff matters to you. That's like a simple fact of life. So just very, very appreciated. Both the way you're locked in and dialed into your family is a lesson. To me, one of the great nisyanis of today is people not dialed into family by the secular world, by the goyim. There's a tremendous nisyan of ignoring family. We're a world we're dialed into mishpacha. The mishpacha matters. That's a mibisarch al tasalim is a basic, and to watch Torah Dika Yidno like plugged in, they're dialed into mishpacha is a tremendous from your bustin, from your own bodies, alta salim, don't turn away, is be there for your family. Be there for your family. Be plugged in. Be dialed in. One day with your kids, it's not like a good shtick. Go to your kids' basketball games. I'm amazed how disconnected people are. They wouldn't go there. It's not like a decision. I didn't have to tell my wife, you think we should go to the game? It's like, here's a big game. Like you're there. It's huge, Tim. That's where you are, because it's big, Tim. If it's a trick, you don't need any tricks. If you're plugged in and you're dialed in, so what's big to him is big to you. I don't know. It's not like it's just obvious. Yeah. I wanna learn a pasuk in the Megillah that I want to study very presently. I want to learn it in a way different than we've learned it in the past. I'm going to ask if we've learned this pasuk before. I want to learn it fresh. We're learning a new pasuk in the Megillah. Now, what I want to talk a very important pasuk. Mordechai HaTzadik is talking to Esther. He just made her aware of a threat to Am Yisrael, that Haman has been geyser, a gzeira of destruction to Klal Yisrael, Chmanu Litzlan, and he's just told Esther Amalka about it. Vayomer Mordechai lahashiv al Esther. Mordechai sends a message to Esther. Al tedami b'nafshech. Don't think lihimalei beis hamelech to escape. To say I'm safe, so I'll escape. Mikol Yudim, from all the Yidden. I'm not in danger. Don't think that way. Kiyim hachrish tachrishi. If you are silent, if you don't stand up for Am Yisrael, be'ez hazais at this time, revach vatzal lama yalu la Yehud b'makam acher. There'll be other salvations. Other people will save the day. Va'atu beis avicha tevedu. But you and your father's house will be lost. Then he says the line I want to speak about. Now there's a Rashi on the next words. I am intrigued. There's a song 3 years ago, Purim. I listened to this song for hours on Purim. I want to talk about these words. I love these words. Umiya ideya. Mordechai says to Esther, listen to these words. Umiya ideya. Who knows im le'es kazais. If for this moment he got la malchus, you became the queen. Maybe this is the moment you became. Mi idea shaya. Who knows? Im le'es kazais. If for this moment he got la malchus, you became the queen.
All right, we're gonna look inside.
Now, what bothers me a lot, and Rashi's bothered by my kasha and says a different pshat. Shaya and Dani, what bothers me a lot. Esther Amalka was kidnapped from her husband, kidnapped from her home, and is dragged to Achashverosh to be with a Russia. A tremendous sorrow, a kidnapping, a hostage. The sugi of hostages is fresh by us. And Esther Amalka's kidnapped, ripped from her home, brought to Achashverosh. Terrible, terrible suffering, a terrible tragedy, dragged to a Russia. She's a great, great tzaddikas. She's grabbed to live with a Russia, a really unimaginable tzara. At this point, it's very clear that there's a gzeira against Am Yisrael, and Esther is the queen. Hey, she could save our people. Mordechai's lashon mi yodeya, who knows? I could picture a teenager, Ephraim would say the words that you think. Like you say, maybe this is why you're in the palace, you think? Duh. Does anybody here have a doubt why Esther Amalka was made the queen? Hello? Why did Mordechai say mi yodeya? Who knows if for this moment you were made the queen? I mean, Danny, it is very obvious. Once there's a gzeira, Mordechai's like, hey, I figured it out. Why does he say mi yodeya? Who knows? He should tell her objectively, Estherol, you were made the queen for this. He should say it as a fact. Why does he say mi yodeya? I like learning real. If I was a guessing man, I'd say, Esther, I think you were made queen for this. What does he say mi yodeya? Who knows? Mi yodeya lays. You're answering too fast. I want the question to sit. But I want it to sit on us, mamish. I promise you, Danny, I'm not trying to say a word. I'm really learning, and I want pshat. And I really want pshat. I think it's so weird. Who knows why? Anybody I know would say, I know why she was made queen. Such an interesting lush and mi yodeya. Who knows if for this reason? I would be quite certain. I would say, Esther, now I know. I would actually say, Esther, achshav yodeya. Now we seem to know. He doesn't say that. He says, mi yodeya, who knows? In la'es kazais, of this moment, they got lamachs. Now, la'nius daiti, Rashi was bothered by my kasha. I want to hear, Danny. I do want to express that Rashi learns a different pshat in the pasuk. And Zevi, I suspect Rashi learned a different pshat because of this kasha. The simple meaning is umiya ideya, who knows? Im la'es kazais. If for a moment like this he got la malchus, you became in the palace. Who knows if it's for this moment? So I think that's simple pshat. Rashi does not learn simple pshat. Rashi says, umiya ideya, who knows? Im yachbatz biyad hamelech, if the king will like you, l'shana haba, sheuzman ariga, like this. The gzeira against Klal Yisrael was in Chodesh Nisan. When did Haman plan to destroy our people? 11 months later. The next year, Adar, 11 months later. So, be'emes, there's a kasha, my Rebbe asked the kasha when I was a youngster. Esther going into Achashverosh was risking her life. Achashverosh can kill her. And it's a chidush nifla, my Rebbe asked, why didn't he wait to see if she's called in? Wait to see if she's called in. Rashi's answering that kasha. Rashi says, mi yodeya, who knows, im la'es kazai tigat lamalchus. Right now, you're quite a celebrated queen. I don't know in the next 11 months if you'll still be celebrated. So when he said, who knows, I know why you're in the palace. Who knows? Maybe she could have said to him, maybe my prestige will grow a little more. Maybe it's 11 months. Let's wait a little bit. Maybe I'll be even more celebrated. Maybe there'll be a better moment. So Rashi learns mi yodeya,
which is what
is not who knows if for this you're in the palace altogether. Rashi says a knech, who knows if in a year he'll like you like he likes you now. And that's the who knows. It could be there'll be better moments. That's the mi yodeya. Mi yodeya, who knows him leis kazais, if similar to this moment he got lamalchus, you'll come to the king. It could be in 2 months he'll like you better, it's possible, and then it'll be even more auspicious, a better moment, but I just don't know. So then the mi yodeya is not, he's not saying who knows why you're in the palace. He's saying who knows if there'll be better moments, so just use this moment. Now it's a chiddush. I would say wait, see, test. So the mi yodeya is not who knows why you're in the palace altogether. It's who knows if there'll be a better moment than this. Yes?
Well, if you said this before,
Am I back?
it's going to come from somewhere else. Maybe the who knows is saying, we're going to get saved. So maybe it won't be by the queen, but you have the opportunity to get saved. He's not asserting that someone else will be queen next year. He's saying we're going to get saved. You have this opportunity to do a setting. It's a conjunction, no? He said this before. They're not isolated questions.
But wouldn't he assume she's in the palace for that?
That's a fair assumption, but you're only in the palace for that if it can only be done via the palace.
So very intelligent. Cheka brilliantly said the same person who said we'll be saved a different way. So I'm not going to say you're there for that. Hashem harbe shluchim lamakam. I like what you're saying, Cheka, because he says there are other ways we can get saved. So the same person who says that, so I don't know. We have Hashem's not like desperate. He put you.
Is Rashi shtickle delicious in the idea in le'es kazais? It's a shtickle
Yeah,
delicious,
the word
right?
le'es kazais.
How does it go? Could you say it?
The le'es kazais in a year like this, a year from now.
It's a little delicious.
Yeah, the le'es kazais is the diak. Yes.
Why does it say kazais?
What?
Why does it say kazais?
Like you have now. Right now, you clearly have quite a bit of stature. Who knows in a year? Because he means in a year, le'es, kazais, in a year similar to now, who says you'll have that position at the time of the hariga? Because that's when the hariga is. So in a year at a similar time, it's funny, it's really less than a year. What were you saying?
He didn't say the other time. Who knows if you're here for the other time? Maybe you're here for this thing.
Uh-huh. It sounds like at that time, like this, who said you'll have the same power? Danny.
I was gonna say, if you can really do it now, because I don't think by this time you've never been called in, right? You've never called in, right? And you gotta wait a little before you can even make a request.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Fair. I have two, Danny, I like what you're saying. Two things strike me, Rabbi Ephraim. There are two things that I've thought about over the years. I want to share with the Chevra. I'm not saying like Rashi. I'm saying this more simple in the words, Miyadeya who knows him le'es kazais. If for a moment like this he got la malchus, you became the queen, you came to the malchus. The simple Rashi, I believe, said what he said to answer my kasha. The simple pshat is, who knows if this is why you're queen? That's the simplest pshat. Rashi didn't like that because why didn't he say this is the reason? So Rashi says, who said it's going to get any better? And he's addressing that maybe you should wait a little bit. It's good.
Why that was bothering Rashi.
You don't like the question? I like the question, so I understand.
I don't understand why Rashi had to answer it with a different shot.
According to that pshat, it answers this kasha. So Rashi learned, who said it's going to get any better? The reason, he said, Avada, this is the ashkacha while you're here, help your people. Just, you could have said, maybe it will get better. So that he says, mi idea, who said it's going to get any better? Now, two things I want to express to the Chevra, two truths that I see here. There's a singer who has a song on these words, mi idea, that's a gorgeous song. And he says, maybe whatever you're going through now is the reason you're here. Miya Ideya, it's based on the Gra, that whenever it says Malchus, means the Malchus of Hashem. Miya Ideya, who knows, in La'es Kazais, if at this moment he got La Malchus, you came in front of Hashem. And he says, whatever I'm going through now, maybe that's why you're alive. When we go through difficulties, and I want to say this to the Chevra, and this is the words of what is being said here. When we go through difficulties, we always view our difficulties. We have life. We're trying to, we have jobs, or B'Fraim, we have things. We're running a home, and then, this thing comes. I mean sincere. In Yeshiva, so we have an issue with fire people. So you could look at it. I'm trying to do this, and in middle of this, I have to put up with that. Things look like they nag us from the side. It's not a truth. I'm born for that. We look at it. We had a certain plan, a certain direction, and then, this thing has to nudge me. No, you were born. Maybe you're in front of Hashem just for this moment. It's not a disruption of what you're going through. It's the reason you're here. I want to express this. You'll see you'll have children. And all your lives, people could be like the child, another disruption in our life. If you watch the singles, the way they're present to their children, things their kids go through are not a disruption in my life. That's my life. My nisyanis, my children's challenges, the thing, this is my life. This is what I'm here for. This, how with faith, with dignity. I have learned it's difficult in situations with fire people. It's upsetting. A guy's ignoring rules, causing us problems, very upsetting. And it creates anger and frustration. A guy, we're trying to make a place for you. And it makes people feel uncomfortable. There's a lot of feelings. The work on faith, the work on acceptance, the work, all the things that it needs. Those things are why we're born. They're not side things. Now, it's hard because they feel like side things, Aryeh. You're going along and then bang. The way tzaddikim viewed, the way the Gedolim viewed Nisyanis, I was born for this. I was waiting to see what Hashem wanted from me. There's an attitude shayat to Nisyanis. The challenges people have, and it's difficult. I'm not saying this preachy. I'm saying this talking to one guy. Here I'm just talking to me. I'm not preaching, Nachi. The challenge of our life, I promise, when I have the challenges, it feels like Hashem, like, really? We're going here? Now, sideswipe, not sideswipe. Oh, I was wondering what you want. You know, like Mission Impossible, the guy would get he would get a recording of his mission. It's before your times, but the guy would get a recording of his mission. If when we have an assignment, instead of viewing it, I was just going along and then, Hashem, this is what you want. Hashem draws our attention and then our response is exactly what he wants. It looked like such a disruption of your life, but le'es kazais, he got la malchus. This is why you're l'fnei Hashem. So the words are very precious. What's the mi'idea? So I have two things that it brings me to. The main thought one thought I think about, you're never allowed to tell somebody else their story, never. There are guys in yeshiva that I know their fathers from youth. I might know a brother and I might understand circumstance of a guy's life, and I promise you it's tempting to sit a guy down and tell him a little about his life. Don't tell somebody else their story. It's a tremendous mistake to tell somebody their story. The goal is not to know your story. The goal is to feel your story, to process your own story. Nobody's allowed to tell you your story. Nobody.
Wow.
And you even have thoughts and feelings. Okay, let me explain to you, young man, what you're going... No. Very dangerous. To tell somebody their story, you actually hurt the process of the person feeling their own story. And I don't know if it's Pasha, Mordechai can't tell Esther while you're in the game. He could think along with her. Maybe, perhaps, could I say a suggestion? I can't tell you your story. Now, you could say, don't even give a suggestion. No, we could talk. It's possible. Me idea. There's a singer, Mailach Kohn. Somebody sent him a thank you from me. He has a song, and he says in Yiddish, Hebrew, and English, who knows, maybe, and he says on somebody else, maybe what you're going through now is the reason you're here. But in Yiddish, he says, for sure what I'm going through is the reason I'm here. Zicher und vadai, he says in Hebrew, Yiddish, and English.
Go ahead.
Zicher, what I'm going through is the reason I'm here. I just can't tell you that. The singer, such a brilliant shot. Mordechai is talking to Esther. I can't tell you why you're in the palace. I can't tell you your story. You're not allowed. But it's not a joke. You're not allowed to tell somebody their story. Me idea. I could tell you on me. He says, Ani idea vadai. What I'm going through is why I'm here. What you're going through, that's beautiful. Me idea, maybe. I would tell you, just think about it.
Oh, it's pretty flames.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The singer says a pshat. He says, Efsher, ulai. Ulai ma she'ata holech achshav zeh hasiba she'ata po. Ani lo yodea. Vadai ma she'ani holech. So he says, certainly, he says in English, what I am going through is the reason I am here. What you're going to, Efsher, maybe. So that's his pshat. I like this pshat a lot. It's a tremendous truth. Maybe we'll play it for the Chaver. It's a tremendous truth not to tell somebody their story. Kimat, any time I've told somebody their story, I regretted it. It's dangerous. Let a guy experience it. So when you tell it, the guy doesn't, thank you. The goal is not to know it. The goal is to experience your story. Don't anyway. Don't. A guy is... Try not to say. Try to hear, listen, ask questions perhaps. A person has to feel and discover their own story. In Masker Ephraim, I believe with our own kids that we can't tell the story. And there's temptations to tell the story. No. A person, it's tempting with our children, people we love, we care about. Don't tell them the story. You might know the guy's brother, you're like, I get it. No. It's his story. You could be present, you want to ask a question, it's his story. Don't tell him his story. I wonder, that's the me idea. The second thing, Ephraim, that hits me a lot, and this is like simple, is that the whole Purim story is bittul adas. We don't know anything. Hashem runs the world. The Eivish Tefir, the Welt, Ashkachas Hashem. Everything we thought was bad turns out good. V'napoichu, like crazy. Haman like saves our people. Everything that he does to hurt us helps us. He builds the very gallows that hangs him. So the Miyai Day, as the Purim story, is the time to say, I don't know. I know nothing. And I like that, even though I like people who are uncertain. I get very nervous from certain people. I get very nervous when people are very certain. Yeah. Only the Rebbeinu Shlom's Vadei. When people have certainty, I get that. Okay, when people have certainty, they're like, sure. I'm like a guy I value a lot. I'm not, maybe not. I'm not, we're human. But humans, I think, could it be? Is it possible? Hashem's Avadai Shemai Kain Tilasai. Certain people, they're like certain. Always like, whoa, you're certain? I watch people are certain, and each time they're wrong, they forget to remember that I was certain and I was wrong. Stop being so certain. I think, is it possible? Maybe. I like that Mordechai says miyodei on something which seems so vadai, and specifically in the Purim story. I would guess this is why she's there. Maybe. And I like it specifically in a world of Ashkachas Hashem. I'm not here to say why. I'm seeing, Mordechai said, I'm seeing Miyadea. I don't know. I've learned I don't know. But Miyadea, maybe in Les Kazais. Those are my two thoughts on the Miyadea. Rashi says a whole different shot. I want to, Leman honesty. Rashi's Miyadea is not, I don't know why you're the queen. Is Miyadea, if this is the best moment as the queen, because there's 11 months to go, that Miyadea, you don't have any of my kashas. So Rashi's a third approach to the Miyadea. I do want to share what my Rebbe said. I want to tell everybody what my Rebbe said. Ephraim, this what my Rebbe said is one of the wisest things I ever heard from my Rebbe. So I want to, one of the wisest things, Yankov, I want you to hear this. On the second, the penultimate day, we have Eliyahu and Rafi. I want you to hear this. Tagid lem Yishai, Zadavar ulai, me'advarim mamash mo'od chashuv sheshamati me'arebi shali, ani rotzeh shem yishmu zeh. I want them to hear it. He might have just cursed me out. I don't care. I want to hit him. I want them to hear. I want Rafi's leaving tomorrow. Elio, Simon staying. Ishai. I want you to hear this. It's one of the most important things I ever heard from my Rebbe. It's something. My Rebbe means a lot to me. He taught me something that is like life changing. You're all going to be parents. Remember this. As parents, this might be the most important thing you could hear. Listen to what my Rebbe told me. My Rebbe asked the question. Esther Amalka, to go into the king, gets killed. If you go in and you're not called, they kill. When I was your age, I was always skeptical. She's the queen. The king's not killing the queen. If you know anything about history, they didn't have what we have today. Today we have metal detectors and stuff. If you know anything, my mother has told me historically there were queens who murdered their husband. My mother could tell you lists. Husbands who murdered their wives. Children who murdered their parents, brothers. They were always nervous as the king. If you read the Quran, the Megillah, Achashverosh was nervous beyond. Now, Achashverosh, he murdered his first wife, Vashti. Now, Achashverosh is worried for his life. There was a simple system. The guards knew if the king doesn't want the king's brother and he shows up, you kill him. You don't ask questions. You don't ask him, does the king want you? Because while you're asking questions, the king's murdered already. So it was known, you don't go near the king's private chambers unless you are called. It was known. It did not help if you were the queen. You were more worrisome if you were the queen, because you were probably there to kill the king. If you were the king's brother, they were the most nervous about you. These were basic rules of the palace that nobody broke. You don't excuse me? No. You're not coming in. Now, if you're called, you come. It was a simple system, Shaya, that was done. This way nobody could touch the king. So the king would say, the king's brother came, it means the king wanted him. The brother could not show up and say, could you ask the king if I could see him? They murdered you before you asked any other questions because they were worried he was going to murder the king. These were like, we don't have kings. It's when I was your age, I struggle with this part of the story. I'm much more visual today. I get it. We don't have kings. So there's no such thing today. Today people walk up to Trump, they heckle him. You have to understand, in a world back then, if somebody heckled the king, Trump spoke last night. It bothers me to no end. It bothers me that you or I see this, people heckle him. That's crazy. By the way, you know you shouldn't speak bad about a president if you don't like the president. Your grandparents, my grandparents, wouldn't say bad about a president. It's a new thing, and don't get used to it. It's not nice. Somebody's the president. You don't knock the president. President. I didn't like when people made fun of Biden. I thought that was terrible. President is the president of the country. It's disrespectful. I don't care you're a reporter. I don't care if you're a congressman. It's the president. There are people who get this. There are people, you don't heckle the president. It's crazy. Respect for a country. By the way, it's disrespect to a whole country. La halacha, a melech is not allowed to say, I don't mind. You know, Trump's not allowed to say, is he have a din of a melech? Maybe not. His office belongs to us. He can't say, I don't mind. It's the honor of the American people. I was happy one senator said to all the Democrats, nobody heckle, honor the country. One guy, like he's right. So don't get used to these things. As a president, there's an honor to the president. So when I was your age, like hearing it, she was afraid to go in, she'll get killed. My mind was like, really? She's not going to get killed. No, understand. If you walk in, this is like Pashut. If she walks in Achashverosh, the guards kill her. It doesn't help. She's the queen. They're most nervous about the queen. They're protecting the king. Now, if she's given Rishus to come, then she comes. And now watch this. Mordechai says to Esther, it's 11 months there's a gzeira of death on the Jewish people. Mordechai says to Esther, I want you to go today to the king. Go into the king. He's going to kill me. Oh, but we need you to save the Jewish people. Let me wait till he calls me. Shaya, wait till you're called. Wait till you're called. It's crazy not to wait. Now, Rashi says, who said, Hashem gave you a moment. Now, Rashi's a big musser. Hashem gave you a moment. Now, it really boils down to what Cheka said, that if you believe in Hashem, so you have to time the best moment. You have an opportunity, just seize it. It's like and Rashi learns like you. You don't make cheshbainis. My Rebbe, when I was your age, asked me this kasha, asked my friends this kasha. Why didn't she wait? Maybe she'll be called in. And if she gets killed, the best hope just got destroyed. It's crazy. And there's 11 months. I get it if there were 2 months left. It's okay, go in there. There's 11 months. Wait, be patient. He says, get right in Achashverosh. She risks her life, Shaya. Crazy. Donnie, listen to what my Rebbe said. My Rebbe said something that's so cool. He said that Mordechai knew if Esther is not Ma'aseh Nefesh, she waits till she called in. He calls her in. She says, my people are threatened to be killed. He would say, dear Esther, you know what? Give me your 30 best friends. I'll say her word wouldn't be weighty. My Rebbe said that when somebody risks their life, you can't poo-poo them. That's fire. Somebody says something. I wanted to convince parents a certain thing. I drove 6 hours to talk to them. Because I knew if I called, just call up. If I called, it'd be, oh, it's so nice. Oh. Please. You believe something, put your money, put everything where your mouth is. You believe it. I'm very into, for yeshiva, I'll spend all my money for yeshiva. Because if you hold something, so put your money, put everything you own. Don't pay lip service and it's just words. With your own children, you'll see this. Things that are valuable to you, your kids will see what you're willing to give for it. They don't poo-poo what you say. Parents, I tell my kids all the time, because you talk. We say the talk is cheap. If Esther, my Rebbe, said something so it's just true. If Esther says to Achashverosh, she waits till she's called in and she says, dear, they want to kill my people. I hear. Esther, give me a list of your 100 best friends and I'll save them. Give me your village you come from, I'll save. But she risked her life. Achashverosh says, whoa. You know how much power is being... I had a story of Ephraim with a bacher in yeshiva. I was halfway there. I was driving him to beg him to go to rehab. I was halfway there. I called him halfway, and not to tell him I'm coming, to make sure he'd let me in. He said, I won't see you. I said, I'm halfway here. I begged him. He said, I won't see you. I don't care. I won't see you. I won't see you. I won't see you. And you know what? I understand him. And he knew if I see him, tell me on the phone. And he knew it would be powerful. He didn't want me to have that power. If you believe in something and you might say nefesh, nobody, you don't, your word is much more weighty. You mean it. You believe it. Literally, you believe it. I'm not going to cases. I would tell a guy who wants to speak to his parents about some drive home, fly home, spend your own money on a ticket. It means something to you. It means something. Nobody poo-poos it. I'm going to tell you a story. There was a bacher years ago. He's married with kids, wanted to learn here. And his parents said, no chance. Now, he didn't do this manipulative. For 1 year, he was listening to every shir and had notes of the shir for the year. He said to his parents, I want to come. They said, go. There was no conversation. Your words, I want, please. Okay. You say a lot of things. You've wanted a lot of stuff. You a ma'aseh nefesh or something? You gave, you invested. What do you say? Where do you want to go? People see when your words are different. It's not cheap. You mean something. You've invested in the thing. You've given to the thing. Words can be said left and right when you've invested and you've proven it. You mamish. You mean something here. Then say, what are you saying? I've watched even mechanechim not put their money where their mouth is like that. Their money. To me, I like that the Rebbeim spend on things. I like that. Because I mamish hold this way. It's not words. I'm not telling you something theoretical. No. I want to tell you something. There's something I hold in. There's something I believe in. There's something that's the world to me. Kids see that. So I wanted to share this with the Chevra on a day. It's Hashkacha. I planned to share the stam before I knew that the singles were here today. On a day that parents flew in from Detroit to be with their son, it's very powerful action, serious action. What you say carries 1,000 times more weight. This is what my Rebbe taught me. It's one of the most amazing things he taught me. It like strikes as true. He says that Mordechai said to Esther, go in, risk your life. Otherwise, you're going to wait. And he said this is the best time. Wait till you're called. And I'm not convinced it will do anything different than Rashi. Beautiful shot from my Rebbe. One of the nicest things Israel ever heard from my Rebbe, in my eyes.
Doesn't help
it
to
sounds
be a day,
true.
does it, Rebbe?
Lav dafka. Yes, check that. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm pshat. It doesn't help me.
Also, since you're not supposed to approach someone from like one thing, right? So is that not apply? If you approaching them when you're being listened to, you can anger them, but it's not doing it out. Not doing it out. It's important to you. Does that cancel it out?
That would be a good shayla. It's a fair question. It's a fair question. It could be Mordechai held without this. You're like joking. Without this, you're literally making late. There's no the shtadlus is Aryeh. What do you hold of this pshat? Aryeh, what do you hold of this? To me, it's like crazy. My Rebbe held without this. There's no plan in Mordechai. Esther's going to tell the king, please. She risked her life to tell the king. I hear. The king's looking at her. He knows she just gave up her life to say this. You don't laugh, you don't chuckle, you don't say something soft when somebody does that. What? Yeah. Probably. Avi, this shadow is I've heard hundreds of things from my Rebbe in my life. This is like top. It's not like cute, it's like emes. To me, there's an emes to this, and I've seen it in my life. It's relevant. It's not a trick. I say keep this in mind. What you say, you say. What you prove, what you give, what you invest is like... I told the parent who's very ma'aseh nefesh for Torah, told them, you say less and they'll see more. You talk, you tell your kid, don't stop saying it and let him see what you do. Because you talk, so she almost doesn't get to see what you do. But if you stop, they'll see. That's like here is... Haman, Achashverosh saw this, there's like striking.
Why do you want? Wow. What do you want?
Right, what do you want? Like, Ad Chatzi Amalch, his response is like, I'll give you everything. Hands up. Like, what elicited
Then he
such
does nothing,
response?
okay.
Yeah, Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh elicited. Ad Chatzi Amalchus. Something's powerful here. Nachi, you like this pshat? I like it a lot also. You hear the Yisaid?
He apologetically doesn't do it.
Rabbi, it answered all my questions that I had on my previous chats.
This is that good. Like, you'll be Meichel even the weaknesses of the previous.
No, that the being Moshe Nefesh is like, that's why he sent him her so early,
Yeah.
and when he didn't call her. And
Yeah,
all that.
yeah. He's probably right. He might be right. No. Even though the Rashi buzz, like, who said it'll be better moments? But there'll be better moments. That's what bothers me on the Rashi. The Rashi, like the who said there'll be better moments? I don't know. Maybe you'll be called in. Like, there might be. There's something else without my Rebbe's pshat. Like Chika's saying, you have an opportunity. Don't try to nail the perfect moment. There's a lot of emunah here. In Rashi's pshat of don't try to nail the perfect moment, you have an opportunity. Chaparain. It really goes along that Hashem could say, like, you won't mess it up. See, Chika's right. There's another word, and my son Hudi would like this. This would be very good Ishbitz Torah. Maybe going with, you'll like this. Maybe going in will mess it. If you ignore what Rebbe said, maybe going in will mess it up. People always worry to mess up. Maybe Cohen will mess it up because he might kill me and I messed up the whole thing, so wait for it. On that he said, you have an opportunity. That's what, like, don't worry, you're not going to mess up. Ishbitz, they're very into jump in and do and don't worry to mess up. They're very not into like a fear-based Yiddishkeit. There are a lot of people, maybe I lost my shidduch, maybe I took the wrong one, maybe. Ishbitz like laughs at the whole thing. Hashem runs the world. Stop worrying about messing up Hashem's world. There's a very dangerous place of overly worrying about decisions. I'm going to mess things up. I don't want to. Daniel, they have like a beautiful world where a human being is like powerfully faithful to Hashem and just jumps in. In Ishbitz, Rebbe, they're very not nervous, like, I'm going to mess up Hashem's plan. So the Mia idea has got La Malchus, I don't want to go now. Let me get this excited. I don't want to mess this up. You have one chance. Then Mordechai's like, You're here now. You have a chance. Jump in. Hashem will be just fine. Like, I messed up my Basher, all these types of line, and Ishbitz, they were like fire against that. That's my understanding of what Ishbitz is. They were big maminim b'Hashem to the point that human activity was allowed. Do something, jump in. They didn't like fear-based fear-mongering. If I do that, a guy goes to Kiruv out there, but I don't get it. Maybe I'm supposed to be. Stop it. You're going to mess with Hashem's plan? Jump in. Let's go. Do what you think's right. So get in there. Esther, get in there. Don't worry, you messed it all up. Don't try to be too perfect. That fits Rebbe Fatzal Yamagmach. But check a real, what I hear and check, and there's something beautiful about that. That would be a new pshat in the Miyadeh. That's this year's pshat from Cheka. It's like, don't be such a knower.
What are you doing?
This moment could work, so that, okay. Send it. The word would be send it, and don't be so afraid. Send it and don't be afraid.
Jump in.
Rabbi,
Yes.
there's something bothering me about Rabbi Kalish and you and your entire household will be lost. He was pretty much pressuring her into going in and doing it, even though it was dangerous for her, which I understand. Like,
I like that question.
But like, if she didn't listen to him, the Jews would be saved either way.
Then why is she lost?
Why would she be lost, and why was he pressuring her?
I like your question.
Good point.
In a certain way, Azriel, I view it that she had pressure. Stam. She's very smart, and the Jewish people have a gzeira of death. She's the queen. So I almost hold that he was taking off pressure. Now I know you say he said the words, but he took off pressure. He said, "Don't worry, Esther, the Yidden will be fine." I have felt this way. People feel certain cases. Oh no, the guy's going to be lost forever if I don't knock it off. The guy's going to be fine. You have an opportunity to do. You care. Let's go. I think he redirected her. If you come in that he like told her and she's sitting there like chilling, and he like takes such a pressure, she's under pressure, the biggest pressure in the history of pressure. Yeah, guys up, bases loaded, and every teammate's ready to kill the guy. You say, no pressure, you like hug him. I never know what to say to the guy. Your teammate's at the foul line, and you're all going to kill him if he misses. I never know what to say. Like, you hug him, you say, I love you either way. I'm going to be mad at you for like months. I'm going to remember for years. It's the hardest conversation. You'll see in sports, teammates don't give him chizuk, because there's really nothing to say. The guy's at the foul line for clutch free throws and the season rides on it. You won't see teammates. The other team whispers things to him. You'll always see that because they want to get in his head. His teammates can't say anything. There's nothing to say to him. You hug him, you kiss him. You just, you know what they do? By kickers, they leave them alone. You've seen this. They don't talk. He doesn't want anybody to say he knows the matzv, and there's nothing you could say. The kicker in a football game to win the game knows if he misses, he is going to get death threats from tens of thousands who are going to want to kill him. Real. His life's in danger. He can't walk into the bar in his city for the next many months. Somebody will probably kill him. Or might kill him. So what do you say to the guy? You can't say no pressure. He has pressure. I forget killing him, but it's scary. Right, he'll get death threats. Now they got killed, they'll get death threats. Yeah. The guy will get a lot of death. So what do you say to the guy? So it's funny, Esther's under this. And Mordechai does say, he says, don't worry. The energy of this Esther is not we're fried if you don't. The energy is it's your opportunity. So I don't look at it that the pressure he put on, I look at it as a release and instead a sense of schus. And he wants that to be the energy of doing. The energy of doing is not, Hashem would have been fried without me. Please, it's not true. The energy, in a way, I think he takes off pressure, and it becomes an energy. He did say, of course she's, but he took away.
Didn't want to do it. He was the one pushing her to do it.
I don't believe that. I think what he corrected is if she would do in a sense, we're fried. And he said, we're not fried. Just understand, it's your opportunity.
I see.
It changes the energy of doing. There's an energy of doing, Shai, and not we're fried if I don't. It's a schus to do. What a schus. What an opportunity. It's a different type of energy. What?
Why did she even do it in the first place? Meaning Mordechai told her straight up, you don't got to do it. Someone's going to be there.
Isn't that amazing?
She wanted
It's an amazing.
wanted the cover, what's the deal?
I want the cover. We're born. We're born for big things. To do is why we're
She didn't even
born.
need to put her life in danger for no reason. So you want to look at it in like a cynical
We're
way.
born to give. We're born to give. We're born to give. We're born to
But what'd she
give.
do?
She gave to Hashem. She cared.
Yeah,
She
but someone
cared.
else would've done
She cared. What she did is she cared. She cared.
Without the idea
She
that
joined Hashem's plan. Reb Geiser uses those words a lot, and I like them. Joined Hashem's plan. Join Hashem. We could join. We mamish can join. We could join Hashem. Not save Hashem. We could join. Mamish join with him. He lets us join. He wants us to join. He uses that a lot. I like it. It's like, you know what I mean, Bessie? It like rings true. For Am Yisrael, yeah. For Am Yisrael, every soldier does that. Yeah. But I like, he says you could join Hashem. That's what he uses those words a lot. Shein Verter. No? It rings true. There are things you can motivate yourself. It rings much truer. Join Hashem's plan,
He
mamish.
also holds that your plan.
You know those words? Yeah.
He holds for you also. It's going to happen.
You've ever heard him say those words? I like Shein Verter. You ever heard him say that, are you? You're going to come to Sulam. Join Hashem's plan. Hashem wants you, mamish. You could join with him, mamish.
Rebbe's saying it as if she didn't.
Mordechai's saying that. Come join, come. Mamish. Beautiful Verter.
I hear it's fresh.
It's like deeply, it brings certain things you hear. My neshama likes that. Join Hashem's plan. Feels that's true. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, Chavrila.
Whoa!
We're going by raise of hands. Who didn't have a mincha yet?
Okay, I didn't know what you were asking.
Hands.
My
He
bad.
wants to sing tons of songs though.
Can we do me a dance?
Does anybody have a speaker here? He needs a speaker.
Who speaks 3 languages?
Do we have a speaker we could hook up to?
Oh, baby.